The twin suns of Thalven drifted toward the horizon, painting the alien sky in gold and violet. Captain Ryan Cole sat near the crashed escape pod, staring at the strange blue grass that shimmered like silk in the dying light. His uniform was torn, his helmet cracked, and his communicator useless. He had survived the explosion, but now he was stranded, alone on a planet he didn't even recognize from the star charts. At least, he thought he was alone. Something moved in the tall grass, light, graceful, almost silent. Ryan tensed, reaching for his pulse pistol, though he wasn't sure it had any charge left. The figure stepped forward, and for a moment he forgot to breathe. She was humanoid but not human. Her skin shimmered faintly like pearl dust, her silver eyes reflecting the last light of the suns. Her hair, if it could be called that, flowed like liquid silver down her back, moving as if alive. "Stay," she said in a melodic tone, her voice trembling slightly. Ryan blinked. The translator implant in his ear buzzed, trying to process the strange dialect. I'm not here to hurt you," he said carefully. Do you live here?" The alien girl tilted her head, studying him as if he were some strange creature out of a legend. "You are human, yes?" "Yes," Ryan said slowly. "Captain Ryan Cole, Terran Fleet." She stepped closer, eyes wide with a kind of nervous wonder. "Then you are real." The Sky Stories were true, Ryan frowned. "Sky Stories?" The girl placed her hand on her chest in a respectful gesture. "I am Alaris of the Velnari. Long ago, my people were visited by the flame-hearted ones, humans. They came in fire ships, burned bright, and then vanished. We thought you were myths," Ryan chuckled weakly. "Well, myth or not, I seem to have crash-landed on your world." Alaris's silver eyes softened. "Then you are hurt. You must rest." He started to protest, but she raised a hand. "You are under my care now, Flameheart. It is the way of the Velnari." Hours later, Ryan found himself sitting beside a glowing pool in what looked like a natural shelter, a cave lined with crystals that pulsed softly with light. Alaris moved gracefully around him, placing strange leaves and glowing stones near his injuries. "You don't have to," he began. "It is our way," she interrupted gently. "When one arrives from the stars, we heal them. That is the bond between the sky and the soil." Ryan smiled faintly. "Well, can't argue with that." She crouched beside him, her eyes focused on his torn sleeve. "You wear much fabric. Does it protect you?" He looked down at his uniform. "Yeah, sort of. It's armor, insulation, and identity all in one." "Humans wear clothes," Alaris blinked. "Strange custom." He raised an eyebrow. "You don't?" Her silver eyes met his. "Not in the sanctuaries. The fabric traps energy and slows healing. To show one's true form is honesty." Ryan chuckled awkwardly. "Well, humans are a bit shy about that." She tilted her head, misunderstanding. "So, if I undress, will you stay?" Ryan froze. His mind scrambled to catch up. The translator implant buzzed again, trying to parse the alien phrasing. "Wait, what?" Alaris frowned, clearly confused. "It is how we honor guests. To show trust, to show we have no weapons or secrets." Ryan rubbed his forehead. Oh, okay, cultural difference, right, totally fine." He tried to smile, though his ears were burning. "Look, Alaris, in human culture, that's, something else entirely." Her expression shifted from curiosity to embarrassment as the translator finally caught the nuance. Her skin flushed with faint silver light. "Oh, I misunderstood." Ryan laughed, a warm, genuine laugh that echoed through the crystal chamber. "Don't worry. Happens all the time with first contact. Last week I accidentally insulted a senator by offering him a handshake." Alaris blinked. "What is a handshake?" Ryan held out his hand. "It's how humans show peace. Like this." She hesitated, then placed her slender fingers in his palm. The moment they touched, the crystals around them brightened, reacting to her emotion. She gasped softly. "You are warm," she whispered. "Like living fire." "Humans run hot," Ryan said with a grin. "It's the caffeine and bad decisions." She tilted her head again, unfamiliar with the humor but smiling anyway. "I like your strange words, Flameheart." The night deepened outside, the alien moons rising over the blue fields. Ryan found himself growing more comfortable around her. Despite the odd beginning, Alaris was kind, intelligent, and curious about everything human. "Why do humans travel so far from home?" she asked. "The stars are dangerous." Ryan gazed up at the glowing ceiling. "Because we want to know what's out there. Because we can't stop wondering. It's part of who we are. She nodded slowly. That is what our elders feared. That your kind would burn through the stars, never resting. He smirked. They weren't wrong. But we also build. We reach out. We learn. Elaris looked thoughtful. Then maybe you came here for a reason. Maybe, Ryan said softly. Or maybe I just crashed. But as he said it, he felt something deeper stirring. A sense that fate had steered him here for more than survival. As the light from the crystals dimmed, signaling night's full arrival, Elaris stood and gestured to a flat stone platform near the wall. You may rest here. I will keep watch. Ryan shook his head. You've done enough. You should rest too, she smiled gently. Humans are strange. You offer protection to your hosts. It's called gratitude, he said with a shrug, and stubbornness. We're full of both. Elaris touched the crystal wall, activating faint patterns of light that formed protective runes. Then rest, Flameheart. Tomorrow we will find your ship, if it still breathes. Ryan lay down, staring up at the shimmering roof. His thoughts drifted. The translator buzzed faintly, picking up her quiet humming, a haunting melody in a language older than words. Somewhere between exhaustion and dreams, he whispered, Elaris? Yes, human? I think your world's beautiful. There was a pause, then her soft voice answered, and I think your heart is strange, but kind. Ryan smiled faintly as sleep took him. Outside, beneath the alien moons, two very different beings shared the same silence. One born of stars, one of soil, each wondering what tomorrow would bring. Neither could guess that this simple meeting would change both their worlds forever. The first light of dawn spilled across the blue plains of Thalven, painting the grass in soft silver. Ryan Cole awoke to a gentle sound, the hum of Elaris singing near the cave entrance. Her voice was calm, flowing like water through stone. For a moment he forgot he was stranded light years from home. When he sat up, Elaris turned, her silver eyes bright with energy. You wake early for one who is wounded. Ryan stretched his arms. Habit in the fleet, if you sleep too long, someone steals your coffee. She blinked. Coffee? He smiled. It's brown liquid that keeps us awake and angry at the same time. Elaris laughed softly. Humans truly are fire inside. Ryan's expression turned serious. Elaris, I have to find my ship. There might be others who survived. Her gaze shifted toward the distant horizon. The sky burned far in the west. That is where your fire ship fell. He nodded. Then that's where I need to go. Elaris hesitated, then stood. You cannot walk alone. The plains are not safe. The Velnari creatures are gentle by day, but when the twin suns sleep, hunters rise. I will guide you. Ryan looked at her. You don't have to risk yourself. She gave him a firm look. It is my choice, Flameheart. And that was that. They began their journey across the shining plains. The ground glowed faintly under their boots and bare feet, lighting the path as if the world itself wished them safe travels. Strange creatures watched from the distance, four-legged beings made of mist and light moving like ghosts through the fields. Ryan was amazed by everything. The air smelled of salt and sweet metal. The sky shifted colors every few minutes, and the horizon seemed to ripple like a dream. Elaris walked ahead, graceful and calm. Your world must be dull, human, if you stare so much. Ryan chuckled. Oh, we have beauty too. Oceans, mountains, cities that touch the sky. But we don't have this. He gestured at the living landscape. She smiled faintly. Then perhaps your people traveled to fill the emptiness of beauty they left behind. Her words lingered in his mind. By midday, they reached a cliff overlooking a vast canyon. Far below, a trail of smoke curled upward from the twisted wreck of Ryan's escape pod. There, Ryan said. That's where I landed. Elaris frowned. The fall was hard. How did you live? Ryan shrugged. Humans are stubborn. We don't die easy. She tilted her head. That is why the stars fear you. He blinked. Fear us? The stories say humans build fire so strong it eats worlds. You fight until your hearts burn out. Ryan sighed. We fight because we have to. Because sometimes no one else will. Elaris looked away. Then maybe we are not so different. They started down the rocky path toward the wreck. The wind carried whispers through the canyon, almost like voices. Ryan noticed Elaris's hands trembling slightly. Hey, he said softly. You okay? She nodded, though her expression betrayed her fear. This place remembers death. My people avoid it. The ground speaks of pain. Ryan placed a hand on her shoulder. You don't have to come closer. She met his gaze. If I turn back now, who will guide you home? Her courage struck him deeper than any weapon. At the wreck, the air was thick with smoke and the faint scent of melted metal. Ryan climbed over the twisted hull, searching for survivors, but found only silence. The escape pod's beacon was shattered. The data core blinked weakly, its light fading. No life signs, he muttered, voice heavy. Just me. Alaris touched the wreckage gently as if feeling its memories. Your ship. It cries. Ryan knelt beside the data core. If I can pull the memory chip, maybe I can contact the main fleet. He began prying open the casing with a broken tool. Alaris watched, curious. Your kind builds such complex things, and yet you crash, he smiled faintly. Yeah, we're great at building, terrible at stopping. When he finally removed the chip, the device sparked weakly. There, I can rebuild the beacon if I find power. Alaris pointed toward the horizon. There is a place of storms not far. The sky there never rests. You may find your lightning. Lightning, Ryan murmured. Perfect. But before they could move, a low growl echoed across the canyon. Alaris froze. Run, she whispered. From the shadows emerged a creature made of stone and smoke, its eyes burning like molten glass. It was massive, 8 feet tall, its limbs shaped like twisted rock. Ryan raised his pistol, though he knew it had only one charge left. What is that? A void hunter, Alaris said, voice shaking. It feeds on heat. Heat? Ryan realized what that meant. On me, the creature lunged. Ryan fired, the beam struck its shoulder, barely slowing it. Alaris darted to his side, throwing a glowing crystal that burst into bright light. The creature roared, blinded. Move! She shouted. They ran along the canyon wall as the ground shook behind them. The monster smashed through rock, furious and hungry. Ryan stumbled, but Alaris caught his arm, pulling him forward. Faster, Flameheart! They reached a narrow bridge of stone stretching across a deep pit. The creature charged again, the air vibrating with its roar. Ryan turned, breathing hard. Go, I'll hold it off! Alaris glared at him. Do not be foolish. Someone has to distract it. He grabbed a piece of metal from the wreck, sparks still glowing, and hurled it at the beast. It struck its chest, igniting a burst of energy. The creature roared and swung a massive arm, collapsing part of the bridge. Alaris screamed as the ground gave way beneath Ryan. He fell, grabbing a ledge just in time. Rocks crumbled under his fingers. Alaris, he shouted. She dropped to her knees, reaching out. Take my hand. Their fingers brushed, and for a moment everything slowed. The alien sky, the falling dust, the monster's echoing roar. Then with all her strength she pulled him up. They fell together onto solid ground, gasping. The void hunter lunged one last time, but the broken bridge crumbled completely, taking the creature with it into the abyss. Silence followed. Only the sound of their breathing filled the canyon. Ryan laughed weakly. Guess we're even now. Alaris looked at him, half smiling, half scolding. You risked your life for me. Why? He shrugged. Because that's what humans do. We don't leave people behind. Her expression softened. Then maybe the stories about you were not all true. Maybe some of them are, he said, smiling faintly. The good parts. As they climbed out of the canyon, the twin suns began to set again, casting long shadows over the wreck. Ryan carried the data chip close to his chest. Alaris walked beside him, silent for a long time. Finally, she said, When I asked if you would stay if I undressed, I did not understand your ways. But now I see humans stay for reasons beyond skin or shape. Ryan chuckled. Yeah, we stay for loyalty. For friendship. For hope. She nodded slowly. Then I will stay too until you find your sky again. They stopped on the ridge, watching the light fade. The wind whispered across the grass, gentle and cool. Ryan looked at her and smiled. You know, Alaris, if all aliens were like you, maybe the galaxy wouldn't need soldiers like me. She tilted her head. And if all humans were like you, Flameheart, maybe the stars would learn to trust again. They walked on together into the twilight, two figures from different worlds, bound by courage and curiosity. Neither noticed the faint pulse of blue light that flickered inside the wreck behind them. The last heartbeat of the ship awakening, quietly recording everything. Something was watching. The night on Thalvin was quiet but alive. The twin moons hung low, casting silver and violet shadows across the plains. Ryan and Alaris walked side by side, their steps careful over the glowing grass. The data chip hummed softly in Ryan's hand as if urging him forward. "Do you feel that?" he asked. Alaris tilted her head. "The air is different tonight." "It carries anticipation," Ryan nodded. "Or danger. One of those." The ridge they had climbed yesterday led to a plateau where the remnants of his ship lay scattered like broken teeth. Sparks flickered from exposed panels and the hull sagged from the impact, yet the faint blue pulse of the data core still glowed steadily as if holding on to life. "This is it," Ryan whispered. "My only chance to send a signal." Alaris observed him quietly. "Then we must hurry. The twin suns will rise soon, and with them, the hunters return." Ryan's hands worked quickly, inserting the data chip into the ship's terminal. The ancient alien systems groaned to life, lights blinking in confusion at the human device. Slowly, the ship accepted the chip, its screen flickering until it displayed a recognizable human interface. "Got it," Ryan said, relief flooding him. "I can send a distress signal now. It won't be long before the fleet arrives." Alaris watched the flickering lights, her curiosity piqued. "Your kind is amazing. You adapt to all things, even machines older than memory." Ryan smiled faintly. "We have to. Out here, survival depends on it." They worked in silence for a moment, then the ground trembled slightly. Ryan froze. "Hunters?" Alaris shook her head. "No, something else." A soft hum filled the air, rising in pitch. From the horizon, a massive shadow approached, sleek, dark shapes cutting across the plains. Ryan squinted, realizing what they were. Ships, human ships coming to rescue him. "They found me," he exclaimed. Alaris tilted her head. "Your people came for you?" Ryan nodded. "We never leave anyone behind. That's our promise." As the ships landed, humans poured out. Soldiers, engineers, medics, all scanning the wreck and securing the area. Ryan waved frantically, shouting to them. A senior officer approached, scanning him with a serious gaze. "Captain Cole, we received your last beacon. You're safe now," Ryan exhaled. "Safe, yes. Thanks to her," he said, pointing at Alaris. The humans looked at the alien cautiously. Ryan stepped forward. "She saved my life. She's extraordinary." Alaris bowed slightly. "I am Alaris of the Vilnari. I guided him here. That is all." One of the engineers approached the wreck, curious. "The ship shall never fly again." Ryan shook his head. "We can repair it. But right now, it doesn't matter. I need to get home. And she needs to see her world." Alaris looked puzzled. "My world?" Ryan grinned. "Yes, you don't have to stay with me. But I hope, maybe you will." She tilted her head, a silver glow in her eyes. "Humans speak in strange ways." "Stay for what?" "For friendship," Ryan said simply. "For trust. For learning from each other." Her gaze softened, and for the first time her voice carried something like a smile. "Then I will stay. For now." Flameheart, the fleet set up a temporary camp. Humans and Vilnari worked side by side, exchanging knowledge. Ryan taught them how to use basic tools, while Alaris showed them how to read the energies of the land. The alien creatures that once hid in the distance now watched curiously, unafraid. Ryan found himself laughing more than he had in months. Alaris had a way of making everything fascinating. Her questions, her gestures, even the way she mispronounced human words. One evening, as the twin moons rose again, Ryan sat with her on a ridge overlooking the glowing plains. "Do you ever wonder," he asked softly, "why the stars brought me here?" Alaris gazed at the horizon. "Perhaps the stars knew you were fire-hearted and fire must meet fire." Ryan smiled. "I like that. Makes me feel important," she laughed lightly. "You are more than important. You are stubborn, brave, and strange. And you are patient, graceful, and wiser than you admit," he said. There was a pause, the kind that stretches comfortably in silence. Both understood the unspoken bond that had formed, a connection not of blood but of shared experience, trust, and survival. The next day, Ryan worked on the ship's repairs with the engineers. Alaris assisted, watching the human machines with fascination. "Your kind builds metal to fly, to burn the skies, and yet it is delicate," she said. "Everything we do is a balance of risk and imagination," Ryan replied. "Sometimes it works. Sometimes it crashes spectacularly." Alaris tilted her head. "And sometimes it survives," Ryan grinned. "Exactly." As they worked, a human scientist asked, "Captain, will she come with us?" Ryan looked at Alaris. "She's got a choice. She belongs here, but if she wants to see the stars..." He left the rest unsaid, letting it hang between them. Ilaris met his gaze. The stars are not as lonely as your stories claim. But I want to see them. With you? Ryan felt a warmth in his chest. Then we'll go together. When the repairs are done. Night fell again, and Ryan and Ilaris walked along the glowing fields. They talked of Earth, of Velnari myths, of strange foods and dangerous storms. The bond between them deepened with every shared story, every laugh, every quiet moment watching the alien moons rise. Finally, Ilaris paused and looked at him. Flameheart, why do humans care so much for one another, even strangers? Ryan smiled, thinking carefully. Because we know how fragile life is. Because someone helped us once and we remember. Because if we don't care, then nothing matters. That's why we leave no one behind. She considered his words, eyes wide with understanding. Then perhaps that is why the stars brought you here. Not for your fire, but for your heart. Ryan chuckled softly. Sounds like a prophecy. I prefer reality. But reality can be extraordinary, she said. By the next dawn, the ship was ready. The engines hummed, and the hull gleamed under the twin suns. Ryan checked every system, Ilaris observing with keen interest. Ready? He asked. She nodded. I am ready, he held out his hand. Then let's see the stars together. As they boarded, the fleet watched silently. Ryan took the pilot seat, Ilaris beside him, feeling the pulse of human machines beneath her hands. The ship lifted from the glowing plains of Thalven, leaving behind a world that had given them courage, knowledge, and friendship. Through the cockpit window, Ryan looked at Ilaris. See, humans aren't perfect, but we try. And we stay. Always. She smiled, her silver eyes reflecting the stars. Then I am glad I trusted you, Flameheart. As the ship soared into the night sky, Ryan activated the navigation for Earth. Stars streaked past, planets spinning like jeweled beads in the vast dark. And somewhere deep inside both of them, they knew this journey was only the beginning. For Ryan Cole, it was a reminder that humanity's greatest power wasn't fire or weapons, it was courage, compassion, and the stubborn determination to never leave someone behind. For Ilaris, it was a revelation that even across galaxies, beings could connect, trust, and inspire each other, that sometimes one simple choice, like staying beside a stranger, could change the universe. And as the stars stretched endlessly before them, the bond of two worlds burned brighter than any sun.